So recently Little Nightmares 3 posted an interview from the producer of the game, and they went into some details regarding what we can expect from Little Nightmares 3. The first question that they answered, or asked I should say, literally has been in our heads ever since the announcement of Little Nightmares 3, and that was, where does it fit in the timeline? I made a separate video talking about my theory, but I got the actual official answer. It says here that Little Nightmares 3 is a brand new game in the Little Nightmares universe. However, they said that you do not need to play the previous games in order to enjoy the Little Nightmares 3. They also clarified that yes, games are connected. They outright confirmed that the games are connected. If you look around and observe Little Nightmares 3, when you do play it, you can somewhere connect aspects and certain ways that these stories connect with each other. However, they confirmed that it's not like it's a sequel or a prequel or these are the descendants of Six or Mono. That is a weird thing that I just said right there. Let's move on. But to double down on this, ladies and gentlemen, they confirmed a lot of other things. One of the things that I always liked is that Little Nightmares has always been ambiguous with how it was set up. Okay, we would think, okay, these characters are in a heavy nightmare and there's a real world out there. And now it has been kinda confirmed because there's this nightmare place called the Nowhere. This has been outright confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that there is this place called the Nowhere where these kids, these protagonists are fighting these antagonists, fighting their nightmares, fighting these monsters, right? And in this nightmare place called the Nowhere, where we have the Pale City, the Maw, and now here, the Spiral. Now, I got it wrong, so I'm gonna come out here and say it. I thought the whole game is taking place in the Necropolis, but no, Necropolis is the first part of the Spiral. Just as you would have hospital, school, forest in Little Nightmares 2, and time loop in the second game. I think it's pretty obvious what we're doing here with the word spiral, and we have two characters who are going through some horrible monsters and tragic occurrences have occurred in this place with these characters, so I don't think I would have to explain more on what's going on here with these characters, what's the symbolism behind this. It's pretty cut and clear. A recent game called Alan Wake 2, which I consider to be second game of the year, right next to Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Spoilers alert for that game. Major spoilers alert. You can skip to this portion if you don't want to listen to the Alan Wake's ending, or rather I should say Alan Wake 2's ending. It was revealed at the end because the game was set up in a way that you would think it is a time loop or loop in some way, but at the end it was revealed that yes, although there is some sort of loops and whatnot, and we're seeing the character spiral, and I feel like we're having the same thing here in Little Nightmares 3 as well. The Little Nightmares podcasts, The Sound of Nightmares, actually take this concept a little further, but that is way more explanation and details, so we're gonna just keep it short. So we got the Nowhere, this nightmare place where these kids are experiencing these literal nightmares come to reality. That's why we see no adults, and the only adults that we do have are actual nightmare people, monsters, and these characters, kids, are hopeful of going back to the real world, normal world. This is what started with Little Nightmares 3, by the way. So now it has been confirmed that all these events are happening. They're happening. It doesn't matter if it's simultaneous, before or after, but they are happening. All these kids, regardless of if you take the podcast canon to the game's lore or not, these events are happening to these kids, and these kids are actively, involuntarily participating in these nightmares and are hopeful, at least these protagonists from Little Nightmares 3 are hopeful that they will find a way out of this spiral. They've been here for a long time now. Both these characters, Low and Alone, they're experienced veterans of this place, so they know how to traverse and move around. One of them have good knowledge of the spiral, and they are hopeful that at the end of this journey and adventure, they'll find a way to escape. The good thing is that the franchise is now moving away from just one character, like 6 mono, and now it's becoming a little bit more than just these characters. They're showing that, hey, you know, we know that you love this character. There are others that are also going through something similar, if not worse. And now it has been explained. You don't need to play the first 2 games because the first 2 games happen in the same universe. However, it would be better for you as a fan and as a player if you play those games, because it would help you understand this universe a little bit better. This game has answers for this universe and how it works even more. There's a small chance, a very small chance, that we might get to see somehow how these characters go from real world into this place nowhere, but they're building this place up called the Nowhere heavily, so we'll see what happens. Again, I didn't go too much into technical detail. Low and Alone are our new protagonist. Their story, it'll start and finish with this game. And that's what Bandai Namco and the new developer, remember this is not Tarsier Studios, but the new developer is going for. There are a few other things that have been mentioned in the interview, and one of them was that there's no local couch co-op. My bad, I just ate something, that's why it's sounding like this, and the mic is very close to my mouth. My bad, G. There's no local co-op, it's online co-op. The good thing is your friends don't need to buy the game, only one of you need the game, and then both of you can play it. There's no voice chat, otherwise it would be crazy if there's proximity chat. So yeah, if anybody wants to hop on the game with your boy, you know, in the description, link in the description. There's also a holding hand button, which has been confirmed, so yay. And finally, the developer talked about, or should I say the producer talked about one thing that really resonated with me, that one thing that separates Little Nightmares franchise from other games. It's the way they tackle the horror. It's mostly actual horror, the dark stuff, rather than cheap jump scares and whatnot. There are jump scares in this game, but not as in like in your face jump scares. Those jump scares are actually called for and reasoned. So I really appreciate that they said that they're, you know, continuing the tradition and of what makes Little Nightmares scary and dark. I mean, trust me, bro, if you listen to these podcasts, this game or this entire franchise is dark, and it does not hide it. It you know, masks its horror with warmth and colors, but make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this game is dark, bro. I'm already feeling better covering this game compared to when I was covering Little Nightmares 2, but that's neither here nor there. Susu for more Little Nightmares 3 hype. Let's go, boy.